Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dawn Campbell at the IAPC&M, and I'm here today with the lovely Maria Hocking, who
Hello.
is not only an accredited fellow coach, but she's actually one of our published authors. So welcome, Maria. It's lovely to have you here.
Hello. Yes, good to be here.
And we're going to talk specifically about being a published author. So let's see the book.
Right, okay, so the book is here. So Strip Naked and Redress with Happiness, How to Survive and Thrive Through Personal Challenge. So yes, I published this about 1.5 years ago now, and it's been an incredible journey. So yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for my complimentary copy. I read it with interest on the way to Portugal.
Brilliant.
I particularly loved and agreed with Curly Martin, who came up with a clever analogy, or said about the clever analogy of the changing rooms.
Right.
And the gap analogy, the genuine alternative perspective. I thought that was a really nice touch. So
right.
Perhaps you could just tell us a little bit more about your journey. How does somebody become a coach who becomes then a published author and actually make it happen? Because we all say we've got a book in us, but very few of us actually achieve it.
That's right. Well, so I mean, I've been working as a coach for like 12 years now. And my coaching practice was like a capacity. I couldn't work with any more clients in a week. And I knew that yeah, absolutely. And I knew that I wanted to share my message with other people. And, you know, I've been through so much adversity in my life, and that forms the basis of my coaching. It forms the basis of everything that I do, whether it's coaching, writing or speaking. And I just knew that I had to find a way to reach more people with my story and my messages. And a book seemed like the only option. You know, it didn't even feel like a choice. It was something I had to do and desperately wanted to do, to increase the people that got to hear my message and my knowledge, to help them go through difficult times, you know, because I've been through so many difficult times, and I just wanted to share the tools that I learned along the way. So basically the first step was literally just deciding to write the book. It was a very spur of a moment decision. It felt right. I knew I had to do it. I spent a year pretending I was writing a book and telling everyone I was writing a book. And then I realised, you know, I was never going to finish it unless I just really knuckled down. So I literally knuckled down. I churned out the whole book probably in about 3 to 4 months, and then worked with an agent to get it published. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey.
I mean, you mentioned a couple of things there that really, I think, will hit home with a lot of authors in waiting. We talk about writing a book. Yes. And I know it was Christopher Hitchens' witticism that, you know, said that everybody's got a book inside them, but for the majority of us, that's where it should stay. And I think that's why so many of us talk about writing a book, but very few of us do it, because it's a big challenge. And we always say, oh, when I've got time, I'll do it. But when you've got that burning light inside you about this message has got to be shared, you somehow find the discipline and the time. Tell us more about how you actually made that leap from talking about it to doing it.
Well, you know, for me, it was, I think what really spurred me on to do it was we had a significant family challenge while I was writing it, and my husband was diagnosed with a really rare genetic disorder, and he started to lose his sight. And it just made me realise what's important in life, and it made me realise, just like that we only get one chance to live our dreams. And I truly believe that it was that and the challenge that we went through with that kind of really drove me to do it. Because it made me realize that, you know, we do get one chance at life, and we shouldn't, you know, shy away from our dreams. And so that was it. And what I found was, when I put all my heart into it, I didn't have to plan the time. It just happened. When I was typing, the words would literally pour from my fingertips. I would wake at 3 a.m. with like these amazing paragraphs in my mind, and I tried fighting the 3 o'clock in the morning wake up and write notes down, but in the end I just gave in. And when I felt that inspiration, and when I felt those words coming from me, wherever I was, I would just stop and type. And I really believe that was what helped me get it done, instead of trying to schedule time into your day, because I know a lot of wannabe authors, you know, say schedule time into your day, write so many words a day. I tried that and it didn't work for me. But what did work was literally going with my heart, really thinking about it, and just letting the words flow whenever they wanted to, basically. So yeah.
That's really interesting, because as a fellow published author as well, and a subscriber to things like Writers News, I'm always devouring books on writing skills, and you're right, people say have a schedule, write, turn up at work at 9 o'clock in the morning and write until noon, whatever.
Yeah.
And you've just blown it all out of the water and said, look,
yeah,
go with the flow, write when you're
absolutely
inspired to write, and get on with life when you're not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think I was worried about losing sleep and being exhausted because I kept getting this inspiration at night, and I am a night owl, to be fair. I like to stay up late and, you know, get up later, but I learned that my creative time was very late at night, and, you know, what is the point in trying to fight that? Why not go with it? And you know, you can always catch up on your sleep later. So yeah.
I know when I reviewed your book, I made loads of notes thinking, God, I could have written that. We're so alike in so many, had so many shared experiences. The book really spoke to me. And, you know, I wonder what sort of other feedback that you've had from your readers, because some say writing the book is the easy part.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the book launch onwards where the real work starts.
It does, yeah. But, you know, it's been a hard work, but it's been so rewarding, because I still constantly get messages now in my inbox every day from people telling them how much the book has changed their life, and I will never ever tire of that, you know. And I'm still promoting the book heavily. I'm still working like a Trojan to promote it, and I will constantly. But the rewards I get are the emails, are the people that say, I've made a change in my life, which has made a massive difference. You know, so that I've had amazing feedback from the book, and, you know, every single person that's read it that I know of has given me really incredible feedback. And just to know that my own challenges have gone on to help so many other people is just so rewarding, and that, you know, there are no words to describe that amazing feeling, really.
So what's the essence of the book? You know, you're used to writing a synopsis, so how would you sum it up for somebody thinking, oh, that sounds interesting, but I want to know more?
Okay, so it's a self-help book combined with my own personal story. So half the book is self-help tips, half the book is my own personal story. And I think it works for me, because I love reading books about people's stories, about their truth and about challenging times. And when I was going through challenge, I used to read other people's stories all the time. So I didn't want this book to just be fact. I wanted it to be real story. And that's what it is. It's half real story and half the tips. And the tips are just kind of backed up by my story, if that makes sense, just to prove to the readers that these things really do work, and we can change our life, and we can change our thoughts. And sometimes it's just taking one small step at a time. So yeah, it's a very sort of general self-help book, but with a lot of story and a lot of emotion within the pages as well.
And you mentioned that you were lucky enough to have an agent. How does one find an agent?
Yeah, well, do you know, I would like to say it's luck, and it really wasn't, because I was looking for ways to publish a book, and I think it put me off for a long time, not knowing how to do it. And I was just speaking to a friend online, and she recommended this lady called Alison Jones, and said, just get in contact. So I got in contact with Alison, who is herself an agent, and we just clicked straight away. We really, you know, I really connected with her. I got her passion. She was so knowledgeable, and I just decided, right, if I'm going to make this work, I have to commit. I have to do it. So she was the agent I worked with, Books to the Sky, and yeah, it's been an incredible journey. I'm so glad I did it that way.
Good. And what do you think about co-authored books? Because as you probably know, the IAPC&M are bringing out a co-authored book.
Yeah.
Because as a published author, I've come across a lot of people who kind of feel that they don't either have enough material, enough confidence, enough book publishing know-how, or enough time to write a whole grown-up book on their own. So because we have so many people who have the sense that there's a book inside them, I thought a co-authored book might be the way to go. Can you see how that would work for coaches?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and I absolutely think it's a great step for someone who maybe hasn't written their book yet, but like you say, feels like there's a book inside them. Because I think having seen your content in a book that's co-authored would inspire you dramatically to go on and write your own book, you know. So, and I think there are some amazing co-authored books out there. You know, I've got masses of books, and many of them are co-authored. And I just, you know, I think it's two different, if it's two authors, it's two different mindsets, it's two different sets of knowledge. And I think that co-authored books are extremely valuable. And I think, yeah, it's a great idea.
I certainly see it as a great platform. I know when I wrote the Dial a Guru book series, or had the idea, because I didn't actually write very much of it, I had co-authors. Nearly all of them went on to become published authors and create their own books. So it's about giving somebody a platform. I think that's the key thing.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Talking about structure, People know there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to a book, and they know how they want to start, and they know the end. It's the middle they get stuck with. What tips do you have for people who need to structure their book?
Well, I'm kind of going against the grain in all of this because, I mean, I thought about the structure, and I bought all the writing magazines that said, make sure you structure your book, you know. And
it just notes everywhere.
That's right.
I tried that chapter. That one goes in that one.
Absolutely. So maybe I did it the wrong way around, but it kind of worked for me. So I tried structuring it, and but by structuring it, I lost my creativity, I think. So in the end, I just decided to actually just write mine as in from my heart. And then I went through it, and I got the first, and they always say you always have to have a first really rubbish copy. Every author does. And so I wrote my first really rubbish copy. And then I went back through with the help of my agent and changed certain things that didn't quite work, if that makes sense. So I almost did it backwards. But mind you, mine is a kind of it's not a fiction book. So I'm guessing if you're writing a fiction book, it would definitely need more structure to start with, and you need that beginning, middle, and end. But for me personally, absolutely, there was no initial structure because that was what stopped me. So I kind of just went with my heart, and but you know, I think it works differently for different people. Some people might find that structure is the thing that they need. For me, I felt it was too confining, and I wanted the story to almost come out as I was writing, which it did when I let go of the structure.
What about the editing process? As I remember reading when I was doing my books, and I think I edited it 3 or 4 times. I just think, I'm going word blind. Jeffrey Archer said he edited his books 17 times.
Yes, wow, yeah. Well, the editing process it was one of the most tedious processes. So I obviously, my agent obviously took care of all that, but I had to keep, responding to the changes, responding to the requests they were making, and it was like, trawling through, but I can see it was worth it in the end. But yeah, it was a challenging process with a lot to check, but I managed.
And it hasn't put you off because you're writing your second book.
I am writing my second book. It's actually almost motivated me to write another one because I actually enjoyed the process. I've enjoyed even the hard work, the promotion, the book launch, even though I've probably worked harder than I've ever worked in my life getting this book out there. It's been an incredible process, and I love to write. I'm absolutely so passionate about writing. So I've started my second book. So the first book was very much about getting naked through adversity, emotionally naked. And so, kind of getting stripped back to who you really are when going through personal challenge. And my second book is about getting voluntary naked. So it's about recognizing that we don't have to wait for a tsunami, a bereavement, a divorce to change our lives. We can choose to kind of like peel back and uncover ourselves and find our truth at any time. So they're very similar, but from different angles.
Which is not terribly British, is it?
No, it's not. Absolutely. So no.
We don't wear our heart on our sleeve. We're quite repressed and reserved. So
exactly.
Naked, it's such a powerful title. How did you come up with it?
Well, do you know, it came to me I was at Birmingham Airport. I'd just been on a course with an author called David Hamilton. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he writes a lot of mind-body books. Very, very clever and inspiring guy. And I was so fired up that I'd been on this course, and he was saying that, anybody can publish a book with the right help. And I was on the way home from Scotland. I was sat at Birmingham Airport, and I'm just sat there, and I'll tell you the whole story. Actually, I was actually in the toilet at the time, believe it or not. So I'm sat in the toilet cubicle, and I'm just pondering over, thinking about what I've learned on the course and about this writing a book and this desperate need to write a book. So I'm literally sat on the toilet, I kid you not, at Birmingham Airport, my last quick wee before I get on the plane, like us women do. And the title literally just came to me, Strip Naked and Redress with Happiness. Yeah. And it was just a moment of, wow, that is the title. That is the real title. And I couldn't deviate from that at all. Not at all. And a few people said to me, do you think it's the right title? And I did question it. I did question whether I was right about it, but it just felt so right in my heart that I had to go with it. And from that point onwards, I wasn't going to change the title. That was it. So yeah.
Well, it's about being authentic, isn't it? And
absolutely.
There's plenty of authors out there. And I remember Stephen King on writing. He said, nobody writes to become a millionaire. If you do become a millionaire, you're lucky. But it's really hard work, and you've got to do it from the passion. So when you find the title, you've got to hang on to it, and not let the publishers and the editors and everybody pick too many of your darlings.
Absolutely. And I think because the title Stripped Naked was so because for people that don't know, I lost all my hair many years ago and found myself completely bald. So kind of that's where the title came from. I felt not just physically naked, but emotionally naked. Yeah. So for me to change that title, I felt like I was diluting myself, so, I wanted it to be all me and, something I could speak about easily and share the message about. And because I kept that title, I do find it easy to talk to people and to give public talks about the book because I'm so passionate about it. And I think, staying true to yourself is so important as an author.
Yeah. And just on my last point, we hear this bandied about all the time, that being a published author and having a book is the new business calling card.
Yes.
So how has that helped your coaching practice and, your speaking events and so on?
Massively. I mean, my clients have had many more new clients approaching me since, which is a bit of a problem because I can't fit any more in, but which is a really good thing for a coach, obviously. But also I've had many more speaking engagements. I've had a lot more work all over the UK. I mean, I've always worked with clients from all over the UK anyway. They quite often travel down to Cornwall to see me, or I'll travel to see them. But my UK work has increased substantially. My speaking engagements have increased substantially. And also things like the social media, the book on social media is a really great, like business card to have out there, and a lot of people buy the book and then contact me. So I'm getting massive opportunities from the book. So it's very much like a business card. So it works very well for business.
Fantastic. So we're going to end by saying that shortly we're going to be featuring your book on our own social media as a competition. As you're going to give some away.
Yes, that's right. I am. Yes, I am.
Good. But anybody who can't wait for our competition and wants to buy it, show us the book again and tell us where they can get it.
Okay. Now, this is one of those times where the book's just fallen off my lap. I'm just going to quickly go and get it, Okay. The show must go on.
Well, the message behind you was very pertinent when you bend down. Listen to your heart.
Listen to your heart. So there we go. It was all timed. I did it on purpose.
It was perfect.
So yes, this is my book, Stripped Naked and Redressed with Happiness. It's available in selected Waterstones and also on Amazon. So I'm Stripped Naked and Redressed with Happiness. Yeah.
Thank you very much. But it was lovely to meet you, Maria.
Yeah, fantastic.
I look forward to interviewing you again with book number 2, which I think you've said you might be turning into a course as well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. I've got my fingers in lots of pies at the moment, but it's all coming together very nicely.
So watch this space is what we're saying.
Absolutely, watch this space. Yes.
Well, thank you very much for a very enjoyable session. It was lovely to meet you, and good luck with the book launch, and particularly book 2.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.